On this series of videos, we're going to talk about something that everybody deals with in one way or another: stress. We're going to go visit an acupuncturist, see what that's all about, even learn a little bit about some Chinese medicine. Have our good friend Meg Green come in and talk about good foods to help manage with stress, and visit with an Arkansas Razorback legend on what leads to success.
Hi, I'm Michelle Fincher. I'm a licensed acupuncturist and herbalist, and we're here today in my clinic, Healing Points Acupuncture in downtown North Little Rock. We're located in the Argenta Arts District. I was always interested in helping people, and I was having some personal health issues with some fertility, and someone suggested try acupuncture, that it can be really great for things like that. And I have two beautiful children now, and it changed my entire life. So I switched from being a social worker to going to traditional Chinese medicine school, and I've been practicing for about 12 years now. The needles, of course. They're really just tiny little fine filaments, actually, but I think everyone gets a little afraid because they don't understand how it works. They don't know what it's like. And when we think of needles, we often think of getting a shot, and usually those are kind of, tend to be a little more painful. But acupuncture can be really relaxing, and probably about 50 of my little tiny thin filament needles would fit into one hypodermic needle. So they're very, very thin, like a little kitty whisker or a hair, and relatively painless when you insert them. Acupuncture is really safe. It's very effective, and when it's performed by a licensed acupuncturist, it's almost virtually no side effects. Only benefits. So I basically am a general practitioner, so I see all kinds of cases, people with all sorts of aches, pains, ailments. It's very well known for pain management, but we do all kinds of other things like stress management, work on people's digestive systems, support them when they're going through chemotherapy, during a cancer treatment. It's really for anybody that is just not, feeling exactly right in their body, or fighting some disease. It's great as a preventative medicine. Acupuncture at its finest is a preventative treatment, but often I see people after they've exhausted every other possibility, and maybe they don't want to have a surgery, or they can't take more medication, and so they seek out a complementary treatment to their Western medicine treatments. So today we're going to have Logan come to the treatment room, and we're going to check his pulse, look at his tongue. Those are part of the ways we diagnose while performing acupuncture. That gives us an idea of where we want to put the points. Acupuncture is specific to each individual, so that's why we're checking Logan's pulse to see where he is today. We know we want to give him an overall wellness treatment, but we want to tailor it to his particular individual needs. And he'll get on the massage table, relax, and I'll put the points in. The points go along the energy meridian pathways, and he will lay there on the treatment table for about 25-30 minutes to relax with the needles in while they do their work. And often I have patients call this an acu-nap, and which is a little more therapeutic than a regular nap, but patients find it very relaxing. And I'll pull the needles out once the treatment time is up, and Logan should feel rested and restored.
Michelle, thank you so much. That was quite the experience.
I'm glad you were able to come, Logan.
I'm willing to get poked on my birthday. Needles for your birthday.
It's a great birthday present for wellness. It'll keep you healthy for years to come.
For years to come, thank you. So you actually spent time in China.
I did.
How long were you over there?
I was in China almost 3 months studying.
3 months studying. Was it pretty rigorous?
It was very rigorous, yes. I did a classroom study as well as clinical study.
Okay.
So I worked in the hospitals in China,
Okay.
treating patients and learning about herbal remedies and things like that.
What's the biggest takeaway from what you learned over there versus how medicine's done here?
Well, it was very interesting to me. In China, they had one unit or section of the hospital was for the traditional Chinese medicine, and then another unit was for the regular Western medicine that we're used to, and they blend the two. So oftentimes people will have herbal medicine in their IVs. They will get acupuncture for surgery if they're getting certain types of surgeries. They often utilize acupuncture instead of having to give them anesthesia. So they
blend it together.
Blend very well together. They complement each other, and I felt very fortunate to be able to go to China and see that, because I knew, here in America we don't have those kind of hospitals yet, and I think the Cleveland Clinic and some other Mayo Clinic, Johns Hopkins, some of the larger university hospitals are starting to offer complementary modalities in conjunction with some of their Western treatments, and acupuncture is a big one of that.
Yeah, and that's all we're really trying to do, is how do we merge it together? We're not trying to pit anybody against anybody. It's how do we bring it together?
They're both helpful. They both have their merits, and they work beautifully together, honestly.
Right. Michelle, just wanted to thank you again. Thank you for exposing us, and hopefully more people are going to be able to use this.
Yeah, and now, people can see what it looks like. It's may not be as mysterious or fearful, and they can see how relaxing it was for you. Yeah, I'm always happy to help people. I'm glad you were able to come.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I have had my first experience with acupuncture, and I can assure you it's not as scary, intimidating, or crazy as you might believe. Worth trying out, worth seeing if it's something that'll help you get through a lot of different things. When people are stressed, the go-to a lot of times is eating. So what can we eat when we're stressed that may actually help instead of hurt? Let's visit with Meg and see an amazing dessert.
Today we're going to talk about stress and gut health. So serotonin, norepinephrine, epinephrine, dopamine, we know play a huge role in the brain, but also in the gut. These neurotransmitters regulate our gut motility, so that's how fast things pass through or how slow things pass through in our GI tract, but also how nutrients are absorbed, and also our microbiome. Another thing that it does help regulate with is causing some leaks in our gut permeability. When we have those leaks, we know that bacteria and nutrients will seep through, causing deficiencies, causing those good bacteria to not make it to our microbiome, and it also triggers our inflammation and our autoimmune responses. Another thing it triggers is the signal of our HPAT axis, and that is our hypothalamus, pituitary, adrenal, and thyroid communication system. And when that's out of whack, lots of things can cause chaos in the body. One of those signals increases the stress hormone cortisol. And so that's our fight or flight responder. And when we have an increase of cortisol over long periods of times, it causes lots of problems, such as irregular periods, low sex drive in men and women, lots of abdominal weight gain that's really, really hard to get rid of, mood swings, and it wreaks havoc with blood sugar. Another thing that happens when we have that high stress hormone amount in our body, it depletes our omega-3s. And when we have low amounts of omega-3s, that increases the need for more stress hormones. Another cycle that happens is the same with magnesium. When we have low amounts of magnesium, it stimulates the need for more stress hormones, because magnesium helps regulate our stress hormones. So when we have low amounts of magnesium in the body, we're going to have lower amounts of cortisol. And you're thinking, well, that might be good. But what happens then is when we have a normal response to, let's say, something small, like somebody cutting you off in traffic, it's going to cause a huge neurological response because that stress hormone's not there. And that's going to cause a huge surge for the need of a stress hormone. Another vicious cycle is with zinc. Zinc actually stabilizes cortisol. So it can inhibit the amounts of cortisol when it needs to in the right ways. And so we want to make sure we have good amounts of zinc. But when we're in a high stress situation, it depletes that zinc. And another one to take note of is our B vitamins. B vitamins stabilize our mood, but they make those neurotransmitters. So when we don't have enough B vitamins, then we're not going to have enough neurotransmitters, which goes right back to what we started talking about at the first place. So today what we're going to make is a dessert. A lot of times when we have stressful situations, we want something sweet. So we're going to make an avocado dark chocolate mousse, and that mousse, with the avocados and the dark chocolate, avocados we know are rich in magnesium, zinc, B vitamins, and omega-3s. And dark chocolate is rich, of course, in magnesium and zinc. So let's get started. We're going to use 2 avocados, and we're going to put them in a food processor. So let's scoop those in here. Avocados also are rich in fiber. And we all know that fiber really helps with that gut microbiome too. Helps you stay full for a longer time period, helps stabilize blood sugars. So we are just going to scoop in the avocados. Next, we're going to add 1/4 cup of just regular chocolate, baking chocolate. And y'all know I normally don't measure, but of course when we're doing anything kind of with sweets, I like to measure. We're going to also add 1/4 cup of Dutch chocolate, and it's also in a powdered form. If you wanted to melt down little Dutch dark chocolate morsels, you totally could. This is going to give us that magnesium and zinc. We're going to add about 1/4 cup too of just a milk, and so we're going to use almond milk. Stir this up. This is a cold press, so you want to make sure and stir this one up. And then we're going to need a little bit of vanilla. So we have this cool wild vanilla powder that you can get here at Lander's Corner. You want to just do like 1/2 teaspoon. Just a little sprinkle of salt to help pull out that chocolate flavor and the sweetness. And then we're going to add our sweet with our yak-on syrup. So that's probably about 1 teaspoon of sweetener. So let's go ahead and get this all mixed together. Now we have this gorgeous, rich, dark chocolate creamy mousse. So we are going to add it to a little bowl. And you can see it is thick. Like we said, we're getting a huge boost of magnesium, B vitamins, zinc, and of course omega-3s. And lastly, let's go ahead and just sprinkle a little bit more of dark chocolate on there, because why not? You're stressed out. We need that extra boost. And here you have it, a dark chocolate avocado mousse that's going to help you fight off that stress in times of stressful situations. Hope you guys enjoy.
One of my favorite aspects of me and McGee Market is the relationships that we have built. And to highlight those relationships, my good friend, Fred Marshall, just so happened to be a big-time racerback legend. So anybody that doesn't know, here with Razorback legend Fred Marshall. So the only quarterback in Razorback history to win a national championship.
Well, that's true.
That's kind of a big deal. So you, actually, long list of awards of Cotton Bowl Hall of Fame.
Wow.
Or the Southwest Conference, all kinds of stuff. So what we wanted to do was recently nominated for Man of the Year for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society.
All
And so
right.
that got me thinking about great Arkansans and what characteristics and what things that was. So you have been around a lot of people that have gone off and had
Oh,
great
yeah.
success. You yourself have had your fair share. Y'all have just had to have learned a lot from each other or picked up different characteristics. So is there one thing that stands out there or a person that stands out that has a real impact on you and your group?
I would say Wilson Matthews, who recruited me, and he's a well-known legend in high school coaching here in Little Rock Central, and he was the main reason I went to Fayetteville, and he's had a big influence on my life. And Coach Sproles as well. Coach Sproles, he was a phenomenal manager. He could be the CEO of the largest corporation in America because he delegated. I mean, he wanted to get his assistants involved.
Yeah.
They're the ones that did the coaching and so forth. But he was an incredible influence on my life.
So really able to put the right people in the right positions and get them to execute what needed to be executed.
You know, Hillary Clinton said it takes a village. Well, in athletics, it takes a team, not individuals. Yeah. The players that we had, they didn't have a star scale, a 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, 5-star, okay? It wasn't their athleticism so much as it was their determination, their desire, their camaraderie with each other. It was strictly a team effort, and you know, nobody took the glory. It was everybody else.
No, and I think that when you research that team, what you just described stands out. Like major, there's not like a Darren McFadden. There wasn't. It was just a solid group of people working together and doing. They were obviously coached well and executed well and played well together. But the thing that I'm just, Fred, I'm blown away with whatever that group learned. They applied to life.
Yeah, no question about it. You know, you look at the success that a large, not just 1 or 2 or 3 people, okay? Not just the Jerry Joneses. People know, okay, they have the roster, they know who was on the team, but they don't know anything past that. You know, and what people have done afterwards tells you why they were able to win the national championship.
And it wasn't just the players either. Y'all had Johnny Majors and Barry Switzer. I mean, there were a lot of coaches that just went off from that group too. All right, Fred.
What in the world we got here?
You got.
What is this?
You got to open it. You got to get it out right now.
What in the world?
Look at that shirt. Look, this is Miss Sherry's. What do you think about that?
Oh, the old Southwest Conference.
No,
Where in the world did you get that?
We got Ryan actually got the logo rights to that shirt. So Rock City Outfitters, and he printed them up. But I thought that was perfect for you.
We don't give a damn about the whole state of Texas, the whole state of Texas, the whole state of Texas. We don't give a damn for the whole state of Texas. We are from Arkansas.
Boom. I love it. I love it.
That's what we, in the Southwest Conference, of course, Texas was everybody's enemy. And after every game on the bus going back to the airport, that's what we would sing. Don't give a damn about the whole state of Texas.
I love it. I love it. Can't thank Fred and Sherry enough for coming out and sharing a wealth of knowledge. The experience that they've lived is amazing. Love Fred. Hope you got a lot from our conversation.